What is up, my friends? Welcome to another video here on CoolStuffInc.com. I'm playing some more Modern. We got a pretty fun one today. Now, I'm still prepping for Mythic Championship Barcelona, trying to really touch my fingers into all of the possible things happening in Modern right now. We have a really cool one here. This is a deck that Pro Tour champ and friend of mine, Steve Rubin, played in a Magic Online League to a 5-0, and it contains a lot of cards that I really, really like. This is essentially a Hogaak Pox deck. Playing the card Hogaak, Arisen Necropolis, most notably seen in Bridgevine decks coming into play on turn 2 and feeling very unfair. We're playing this card in a much more fair way. We're not dredging here, we're not doing anything crazy. We're just playing it as an 8/8 from the graveyard to win the game by attacking our opponent with it. And this deck takes a lot of kind of like the 8-rack, discardy shell, Smallpox and stuff. But instead of playing the racks and the cards that don't really do much besides win the game, we're just playing some new cards and some classic cards in the format. Biggest new card here being Cabal Therapist, a card that I was super amped for when I first saw it. Cabal Therapy, one of my favorite cards. Super skill intensive, super fun, super awesome way to pick apart your opponent's hand, and also a really fun sub-game of like, what do you think they have, what do you think they not have, and so on and so forth. So Cabal Therapist basically requires you to sacrifice a creature in your pre-combat main phase, and in doing so, you can cast the card Cabal Therapy, which is name a card, and if they have it, they discard all the cards that have that name. So it's on a 1/1 body with Menace, which is reasonable, and it can sacrifice itself, which is cool. So it can be a delayed Cabal Therapy in the absence of any other creatures. We have other creatures to sacrifice too. Looking at for Stitcher Supplier, a card that's seen a lot of play in Modern as a great graveyard enabler, as well as Bloodghast, naturally best friends with Stitcher Supplier. So Bloodghast is our ideal card to sacrifice to Cabal Therapist, also to Smallpox and other things as well. So we have Hogaak and Cabal Therapist spearheading this sort of Pox deck. We have our discard, of course, Thoughtseize. We have Inquisition of Kozilek and Liliana the Veil. One of the more important cards of a deck. This is definitely a low resource deck. The goal is to get both players basically to 0, and then we can start recurring our things like Bloodghast and Hogaak. One of the most important cards of a deck also is Smallpox, one of my favorite Magic cards of all time as well. And this is a really, really powerful effect for 2 mana. Each player loses a life, sacrifices a land, sacrifices a creature, and discards a card. So a backbreaking card for any player who plays a 1-drop. Because if you play this on turn 2, they go down to 0 permanents and discard a card. So very powerful card. And that's paired up with Fatal Push and Liliana for a little extra removal. And we're looking to just grind both players down to nothing, basically. Get a Bloodghast 2 in play, and then get Hogaak in there to finish the game. Hogaak's also pretty hard to kill in the Modern format. Obviously, Burn Spells can't touch him. Fatal Push can't touch him. Abrupt Decay, things like that. So, and if you kill him, he just comes right back, right? So we have Pack Rat in here. It's funny because Pack Rat isn't particularly great in the main deck. You can use it to discard Hogaak or discard a Bloodghast, things of that nature. But the presence of Pack Rat in the main deck plays very well into what I perceive the sideboard plan to be. We'll get to that in a little bit. In our lands, we have 4 Urborg, 2 Yawgmoth, which allows us to play Mutavault and Dryad Arbor in our deck that requires all black mana. 4 Mutavault for a little extra beatdown. Again, if both players are going down to 0 cards in hand, then having a creature land in play is quite good. And then 1 Dryad Arbor. Now this might look a little weird. Why are we playing a Dryad Arbor in our mono black deck, right? Well, Dryad Arbor can help you cast Hogaak. And it's also a surprise, because people who are aware you're playing Hogaak will try and kill your first creature if you go to put a second creature in play, therefore denying you the ability to play Hogaak. So, with Dryad Arbor, if I already have, say, a Pack Rat in play, and I have a Hogaak in my graveyard with a bunch of cards in my graveyard, and I want to cast Hogaak. If I were to activate Pack Rat to make a creature, or I were to play a Stitcher Supplier, they would just kill the Pack Rat in response, and I can't cast Hogaak. But if I crack a fetch land, okay, I'm cracking a fetch land. They're going to wait for me to cast something, right? Get Dryad Arbor, Now they don't have priority again because I have an empty stack, Pack Rat, and Dryad Arbor. I can cast Hogaak and they can't kill my creature. So very, very sneaky, clever addition here. Also, sometimes we're just gonna need a second creature for casting Hogaak, and Dryad Arbor serves that purpose as a green creature. Got some new Horizon Canopy lands in here. Just kind of keep the flow going. Again, this deck's goal is to kind of get both players down to a couple lands and nothing else. So having a card draw on your land is great. Also, awesome synergy between Urborg and Nurturing Peatland because Urborg makes it a swamp, so you can tap it for black with no pain. Basically removing the drawback on Nurturing Peatland. And then, of course, a couple fetch lands to get our Dryad Arbor. And to double trigger our Bloodghast. So, really, really cool main deck. We get to the sideboard, and of course, the fear is they bring in Rest in Peace or have Surgical Extraction, have ways to interact with our graveyard stuff. Well, it looks to me like the plan is we can just board some of that stuff out. We have some Bitterblossoms in the sideboard. Obviously good in slow matchups. We have Plague Engineer. I guess it's not really a threat, but we have Liliana of Last Hope. We have a couple other things we can do that are threatening. So we can shave down on things like Hogaak or small Bloodghast, Citrus Supplier, etc., etc. And in post-board games, if your opponent is mucking around with lots of Leylines, if they're mulling to 5 to try and find their Rest in Peace, Pack Rat does kill them pretty quick. So I think the Pack Rat here, if this deck was played in best of 1, and you're trying to build the best deck in a vacuum, Pack Rat would probably not be in the main deck. But Pack Rat being fine in the main deck and then really good post-board seems like it ties the whole plan together to me. We got Leon of the Void. We got Fulminator Mage. We have Liliana's Triumph as an extra kill spell. Obviously very good if there's a Liliana in play. Duh. And then we have Extra Fatal Push. And again, Plague Engineer is also really, really good. This card is a very serious card in the modern format. Does a lot of little things well. Even if all it does is come into play and kill a Thalia and Guardian of Thraben. That's still good. A 2/2 Death Touch Ravenous Chupacabra is still good. So, and then of course it has huge upside against, boards full of spirit tokens or goblins or whatever. So, this deck looks super sweet to me. I am actually amped to play this deck. It looks like a lot of fun. And let's battle. Alright, so match 1. Looking to play a nice low resource game here. Fatal Push, Smallpox, Cabal Therapist. Definitely a little awkward that we have Cabal Therapist and Smallpox. You usually want to cast Smallpox on turn 2. But we're going to keep. So we'll see if we're casting the Therapist or not on turn 1 based on what they do. Misty Rainforest, nothing. Another Bloodghast. Okay, that's pretty good. So I think we're gonna Therapist. Set up for Bloodghast on 2, and then we can activate the Therapist. We could play a land, get Bloodbath back, cast Smallpox, do a lot of things. So we'll start there. As far as fetch land or Urborg, I think we're gonna Urborg and save the fetch land for more Bloodghast triggers later on. We are possibly giving them access to black mana if they don't have it, but then of course if they just kill my Therapist, that's fine too. We can Smallpox on turn 2 with our Bloodghast in our hand, and that's pretty good too. Okay. Hallowed Fountain. Plains Island Swamp. Plains. Unsettled Mariner. So probably a spirit deck. Okay. So now we have an interesting choice. We could just fire off the Therapist here and probably name like Spell Queller. That would be the clearest name. We're not sure if they're playing Bant or Blue-White Spirits, but it's probably Spirits given the Unsettled Mariner. And casting Smallpox right now is pretty good. So we have extra land, we have Bloodghast to discard. We could just crack the Therapist now. If we wait a turn and we play a Bloodghast, we get to Therapist them next turn, but we might start falling behind. I guess we could also then push into Smallpox, and we could use Therapist on Bloodghast to try and clear the way through Spell Queller. I think we're gonna hold off and play this Bloodghast. So my Mutavault. I should cast Bloodghast and just say, I guess I can attack for 1 too, which is kind of cool. Menace here allows for a few chip shot points, which is nice. Okay. So next turn, alright, they're playing Bant. So we get to name Spell Queller. Probably, we'll see. Supreme Phantom, sure. Okay. So between Fatal Push and Smallpox, we get to clear things out pretty well here. So we're going to move to our pre-combat main phase and another Smallpox. Wow. We're definitely going to sacrifice the Bloodghast here. The question is, what are we going to name? It's interesting. I kind of want to name Force Negation because Company's their best card for sure. But we're going to resolve Smallpox and they can't cast it. And Force Negation is the only card that can stop our Smallpox. I suppose if they have a Path to Exile, they could, in theory, path their own creature in response to this and still have 4 mana next turn. Which is a thing, too. The question just becomes, are they playing Force Negation or not? And this also means that whenever you... So if I Smallpox and they sacrifice the Phantom, I can't push this also. This is tough. They're playing Bant. They're probably not playing Force. Oh, it's targets too. Okay. I thought this was, I guess that makes sense, targets. Alright, so Unsettled Mariner is going to get us here, so we're going to have to pay for the Therapist and then just cast Smallpox and not be able to Fatal Push. That's fine, though. Alright, so... Alright. They also only have 4 cards in hand. I'm going to name Path to Exile. So they can't path their thing in response, and I can still resolve Smallpox. So... Alright, their hand is Company, Selfless Spirit, Spell Queller, Waterlogged Grove. So that's fun. So now we know their hand. We play a Catacombs to get back our Bloodghast. We Smallpox, tapping the Verdant Catacombs for black. We discard another Bloodghast. Being able to tap our fetch lands and use them later is pretty awesome. Sacrifice Bloodghast. They discarded Selfless Spirit. And we're going to sack our Urborg. Cabal Therapist so far is really, really good. Knowing that we can nab their Spell Queller next turn and then resolve another Smallpox is pretty busted. So, alright, so they sacrifice the Unsettled Mariner. Makes our life a little easier. Attack for 1 Menace. And now we have our upkeep stop set, so we can fetch out our... I guess we can do it in response to this, too, but... They play Waterlogged Grove. They attack for 1. Alright, so we're going to upkeep. Swamp. Get back both our Bloodghasts. Now we're going to sack one of these and name Spell Queller. Suppose they may just cast a spell color here, just to put something in play. So we name spell color. Their hand is Noble Hierarch Company spell color. Excellent. Now we they have Noble Hierarch Company. So now we don't even need to push, which is cool. So we need to play Urborg. Get back Bloodghast again, which doesn't really matter as much, but get that back. And then we're going to cast. Hold on. We're actually going to leave the. We're going to sacrifice the swamp, so. Cast Smallpox. Discard a swamp. And they just concede. Yeah, wow. Cabal Therapist is great. That was really, really impressive. We didn't even name right the first time. And it was still really, really good. Yeah, Bloodghast, Cabal Therapist. So, now we need to think about the post-board games and how they're likely to have some graveyard hate. We have Plague Engineer seems very reasonable. We need to decide how much graveyard stuff we want to take out here. Land of Last Hope seems pretty good. Liliana's Triumph. We could just bring in all of this and just cut like Hogaak. Suppliers and like one Bloodghast. Now the Therapist is obviously much worse without the Bloodghast, but we could try. I guess if we're also cutting, we could also cut the Dryad Arbor, which is really bad without Hogaak. And then our only graveyard interaction is just the Bloodghast. And if they rest in pieces for a Bloodghast, we can still cast the Bloodghast, whatever. So now we have more removal spells in 4 pushes, 2 Triumphs, 2 Plague Engineers, Liliana, and 2 Bitterblossoms. And we're removing the graveyard component from our deck. I think I like this a lot. They are guaranteed to have at least 3 rest in peace, probably. I like it. I like it. Very, very clever deck design here. Again, this is where the pack rats will really shine. Cabal Therapist definitely gets a little worse now. But, again, at the floor of Cabal Therapist is simply 1 mana suspend, cast Cabal Therapy. You know, and given all the other discard spells in our deck, we should be able to see their hand and still make reasonable use of that. All right, so this is a very mono-black, circa, Theros standard hand. We're going to keep our Mutavault, our Thoughtseize, our pack rat. Urborg. Yeah, sure, then Urborg. Alright, so their hand is Drogskull Captain, Hanged Executioner. That card's really good against us. Mariner and Company. So I think we're just taking their 2-drop here. Executioner is pretty good against Liliana's Triumph. But Mariner's the card they can cast next turn, and it is pretty annoying, honestly. It's basically Thalia for all of our targeted spells, so. Question is, what do we play next turn? Is it Bitterblossom? Probably. Definitely want to Thoughtseize the Company. Even though the Executioner is annoying, Company is definitely the biggest card to get them into the game. I guess we could the Executioner is really annoying, as it does make our Liliana's Triumph basically worthless, whereas the Triumph can kill the Captain. But the Company is really bad, so we don't have an answer to Captain though. I guess we can answer Captain next turn with the Thoughtseize. They play Executioner, we just Thoughtseize, play pack rat. Yeah, it just makes this card bad, but I guess this card isn't that good without anything else to help it out. The company's really, really scary. Yeah, they were should let it happen. That's fine. Could have just tapped their Rainforest for black there, but all right. Cabal Therapist plus Bitterblossom is also pretty cool. But all right, we're gonna Thoughtseize here. 2 companies. Ugh. Well, Cabal Therapist comes in play pretty well there. Okay, so we're gonna take one of the companies and play Cabal Therapist because whatever they don't play next turn, we can use the Therapist to get. Company's really scary, but it's unfortunate that Hanged Executioner is like probably the one card in their entire deck that's good against Liliana's Triumph, but that is them's the breaks at the moment. So not pack ratting yet. So they don't realize that they can tap it for black. They took a pain off of it. Sure. No whammies, please. That's a whammy. That's a whammy. All right. Well, now we're probably just dead. Double Drog Skull Captain is not a good thing for us. That is definitely the biggest of whammies. We are lacking in any sort of mass removal to recover from this. No, they're copying the Executioner? Wow. That's interesting. I guess they're just playing on like Damnation. That doesn't make sense either. That's pretty wild. Oh, they can't copy the Captain because they came into play simultaneously. Right. Sorry. If a clone comes into play at the same time as another creature, it can't choose that creature because they're both like not technically in play yet. Okay. Still very good for them though. Mutavault. So we can get the Captain in their hand, but we're just gonna die to the board here, unfortunately. I think I'm actually gonna sack the Therapist because we need double flyers to block these. And Therapist is rapidly losing value. Yeah. Name a Captain. They have a Spellcaller in their hand too. Yikes. Well, if they have Spellcaller in their hand, we need to play this Triumph now. I think we're just dead. Just sack a token, they attack with everything. Even if we double block Captain, we still take 6 damage. And then we probably can't race. Yeah, I'm not going to show them back rat, actually. I'm just going to concede. Alright, tough game there. It's funny, them drawing their bigger cards was actually better for them than them having like a faster... If they had like an Aether Vial and a 1-drop and 2-drop and stuff, would have been better for us, I think. But that's okay. Let's run it back. We do have Plague Engineer and Liliana, which are all really good against the 1/1 token creatures, so I think we'll be alright. Stands fine. It's not great, but it's fine. We have 3 1-for-1s, a land that cycles. And their hand is not great. Excellent. It's a pretty easy executioner here. They have a Noble Hierarch, and they have a Drogskull Captain, which is all fine. Normally, I'm not an advocate of pushing Noble Hierarchs and stuff like that, but given that we have a Edict in our hand, we're going to do that. I'm sorry, actually we're going to do that instead. That seems better. Play Nurturing Peatland, tap it for black. So now they get to land Captain. We just get to push the Hierarch and triumph the Captain, which is perfect. And then we're in pretty good shape. That was actually a very good draw. Another Rainforest. Yep. So they have 4 cards in hand. At least 2 of them are lands. Thankfully, we have this Peatland in play because we are definitely resource light at the moment. But all right, they shock for Hollow Fountain. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. How about a Plague Engineer? How about a Pack Rat? All right. I want to cast sack this Peatland first. Smallpox. That's pretty good. Just stone raining them here is quite nice. Yeah, this is definitely a Smallpox here. We could discard a Urborg, sacrifice a Swamp. We still have Pack Rat in our hand and Bitterblossom going. Yeah, I like Smallpox here a lot. Would obviously prefer if we were killing a real creature, not just Oaken, but I think it's still fun. Keeping them off company is pretty important too, so the stone rain aspect of it is nice. Okay, so, and then 15-15. Do we attack here? We attack, they attack. I think so. They have 2 cards left. Fatal Push. Interesting. So, are we concerned with Spell Color? Kind of. If we cast Pack Rat and they Spell Color, it's pretty gross. We just attack and say go. That's pretty interesting. So they must have lands in their hand, because sacrificing their 3rd land is pretty weird. Mausoleum Wanderer. Sure. What is this? Aether Vial. I think this is fine. Verdant Catacombs. Alright, so let's get in here. Get our pack rat down, and we have Fatal Push up. We can revolt it if necessary with our Catacombs, so feeling reasonably good here. Any Lord that comes down can be killed. Pack rat's not looking too impressive because we're so light on resources, but perfect. Not perfect. Save the Wanderer. Okay. So actually, I think we're going to just block Wanderer and then kill this on our turn. It's not... I mean, if they have another 1-drop, we are probably in trouble, but they don't play many 1-drop spirits, so let's just start with the Fatal Push. Cool. And then you can do a discard spell. Also, Spellcaller Captain. Those are all pretty good. Definitely the Captain. And then we get to fire in here. They draw a Lord. We are in a little bit of trouble, but okay. I mean, it's not a Lord, but it's something. It does play. That's fine. They're at 8. There's another rat. Maybe just slam in here with everything. We are certainly winning the race at current. They're at 4. We're at 6. And we have 2 3/3s and 3 1/1s attacking next turn. They can play Queller to block, but it's kind of passing the point where that matters. Basically, just how good is their draw step this turn exactly. No blocks. The answer is not good. Alright, so they have 1 card in Spellcaller. We attack with everything and they lose, right? So they can flash in Spellcaller, they make 2 blocks, they can block a rat. I guess they can go to 1. But they would lose their Spellcaller. Oh, they can activate their... Oh, they can... Alright, so hold on, they can activate that too. Okay, so they can block a rat, block a fairy, kill a rat, take 2, and then we untap and we'll have a blocker. But they lose this too. I think we're still actually in good shape here, so we still attack with everything. I guess the rat they block will also die, so we'll lose both rats. But they go to 2, we have a bunch of attackers, so they have to draw like a company basically. Yeah. So we're at 3. Alright, this all looks good to me. Still have a blocker. They're going to lose their Executioner. This block doesn't... I guess this kills a rat, but... Yeah, I think they want to block a rogue because they're going to exile a rat anyway, so... So this is lethal. We just pass priority here. Because if they exile a rat, I might not make a rat. I might just do it on their turn and let them wonder what this card is. They've watched me do it a few times. They still haven't realized they can tap their thing for black. Oh, excuse me. All right, so they go to 1, and we have. So basically, they need to draw a way to remove this 1 Fairy Rogue token. If they can do that, they win the game. If they can't, they lose. Can't draw company anymore. If they draw a way to kill this, they win. No cards in end. I guess they have 2 shots at it if it's Path to Exile. And so didn't draw it the first time. Second draw, definitely the bane of Pox decks is the top of your opponent's deck for sure. So I will make the block. Make a rat. That's game. Sweet. So didn't even need Plague Engineer. Deck seems pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little impressed. All right, round 2. Thinking about that last match, wouldn't mind some sort of mass removal on my sideboard. All right, so this hand's pretty good. We've got Inquisition, Smallpox. Drawing the Dryad Arbor in your opener is a little awkward, but we have this Urborg here. Oh god, okay. The secret's out. Dryad Arbor does not play very well with Smallpox. You have to sacrifice the creature first, so you can't sacrifice the Arbor as a land. So they take our discard spell. Oops. I'll skip our turn there. I'm just going to Mutavault. Alright, so Jund. How do we feel about Jund? We did draw Bloodghast, so casting Smallpox here is kind of cool. We get to pitch the Bloodghast. I would like to kill a creature with the Smallpox, but they know we have it. And if they have Liliana next turn, things get a little awkward. I guess we have Mutavault and Bloodghast. We could just cast Bloodghast here, honestly. Definitely, I mean, they know we have the Smallpox. We're not going to, snag a creature super easily with it, but I think we just cast Bloodghast here. I'm trying to set up for Liliana next turn. Smallpoxing here just seems, we're not getting enough value off of it. In a matchup where we're going to need value really bad. Renin 6 also seems really tough for us. Casting Smallpox means we can't discard it to Smallpox. Casting Bloodghast means we can't discard it to Smallpox, but it does make them, it does put something in play and make them need to do something, making our Smallpox better. And we can just discard this Dryad Arbor, so not too worried about that. Blood Crypt, untapped, go. That is very interesting. Well, first thing first, attack. I mean, Coligan's Command could be a thing here. I think we're just casting Liliana. They could have a decay or something. I mean, anything that kills it is card advantage. It's not card advantage for us. Just 2 for 2. But we are the low resource deck, so I think that's fine for us. Yeah. This feels weird. Also, they shock this in? Why would they shock that in? Alright, I'm casting Liliana. We'll plus discard Dryad Arbor. Having an answer to Renin 6 seems like it might be a necessity. I guess we just make him, Thoughtseize it or whatever, but I can see Pithy Needle on the sideboard being a thing. Cheap Planeswalkers are very good against a deck like this. Oh, we can't attack them. All right, it is Goal against command. It's just 2 damage to this, and we discard a card, which is fine. I think Pack Rat's not very good here. They just have removal spells, and it just makes them good. Kind of want to keep the land for returning Bloodghast, and then the Smallpox. Obviously, if we Smallpox, we want to need more lands too, so let's just discard Pack Rat. I guess they could have Scavenging Ooze here. It's like Ooze, eat the Bloodghast. But in that case, we'd have Liliana and Smallpox anyway, so... Bloodbraid Elf would be pretty good here, too. Any 2-for-1. This is just like, 2-for-1s are the anti-our deck. Okay. We're playing standard now, I guess. I don't get it. But sure, why not? Alright. Vraska Golgari Queen has been called. Okay. So they've got 2 cards in hand. Smallpox can get both of them. However, Supplier gives us a shot hitting a Hogaak, which would be really good. And then we could... I kind of want to attack the Vraska. We could just sack the Supplier to the Smallpox too. Alright, yeah, we're going to do that. I think we're just going to Supplier, see what happens, get back Bloodghast, cast Smallpox, probably sack Supplier, and we can plus our Liliana. Yeah. Alright. Let's just try and get lucky here, hit a Hogaak. We hit a Hogaak here, it's pretty busted, so let's start there. Big money. No. Cabal Therapist, Inquisition, Fatal Push. Alright. So, let's swamp. Get back Bloodghast. I would not mind attacking this Vraska, I'm not going to lie. But it seems kind of hard to do. Smallpox. I guess we're sacking the Supplier. We can't Hogaak because we need to have 2 creatures in play if we do that, but we can hit more Bloodghast and things like that too. Sacking Bloodghast means if we draw land, it's good, but we have the plus Liliana, so there's no world we can not Smallpox this turn, so the question is, what are we sacrificing to Smallpox? Probably just Swamp. We have Peatland too. What do we sacrifice here? The problem is if we hit a Hogaak, we can't get it back without tapping 2 creatures anyway. So we sack Bloodghast and we can probably get it back next turn, or we'll draw a spell, which is great. There aren't aren't that many things to hit with Supplier. It's just Bloodghast and Hogaak. Alright, I'm going to sack the Supplier. Bloodghast and Mutavault can attack Vraska next turn if they want to kill my Liliana. Alright. And we're going to sacrifice the Swamp. No, I discard. They sacrifice a Swamp. We mill 3. We hit Peatland, Fatal Push. It's not good. Discard Assassin. Sorry. So now it's both players empty-handed. Liliana and Bloodghast and Mutavault versus Vraska. We'll have Peterlands too, I guess. So we're going to kill my Liliana, sure. So now there's a fear that they drew a removal spell. But that's not bad. Alright, well, we're coming in. Alright, so they drew a spell. That's pretty lucky. That's fine, though. Rouse goes down. Play land. We say go. Prefer if they bricked here. That would be nice. Obviously not. Why would they ever brick? Alright, well, that's a really good draw. I think we're cracking our Peterland. Hogaak. Any creature we can guess. God damn it. Yeah, I mean, that was brutal. That was definitely brutal. I guess we're just saying go. We can get Hogaak in play. We'd be in really good shape, but unfortunately we are one off. So they're going to sack their Peatland to the Vraska. They draw another land. And they're getting in. Any creature. Thoughtseize. I mean, I have to assume they have something here. I guess we're just casting it and seeing what they have. I mean, if they have a kill spell, we can use Mutavault to attack Vraska. So, alright, yeah, sure. Feels bad, but it's a little unfortunate that they're at 12, not 10. They're going to bolt me. Sure. Go to 9. Attack Vraska. And Vraska goes to 1. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, the enemy of a Pox deck is the top of your opponent's deck, and the top of our opponent's deck has not been kind to us this game. Right in 6 plus Vraska, that is adorable. Yeah, we're in pretty big trouble here. Also, we can draw a creature that is black. That plays 2, I guess. Yeah, that's actually pretty good, all things considered. Alright. I'm going to kill red in 6 for sure. Right? Maybe not, actually. Maybe the Vraska's ability to gain life and draw cards is just better. I mean, we don't kill red in 6 this turn. We can't really kill it next turn, but maybe we're past the point of that mattering. I guess I can Peatland every turn. This goes up by 2. It's hard to kill that one next turn. Just attacking them. Yeah, it's 3 attacks to kill them, and they can always kill something. Kill Ren. They just sack next to it. They have 2 draws next turn. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is right, honestly. So they have 2 cards in hand. They can have a third if they want to sack a land. Sure. Hogaak. And a Raging Ravine. Interesting. So they don't want to sack a land now. Please draw a creature. God, that's so stinky, because if we had the Dryad Arbor in our deck, we could fetch it and cast Hogaak, but we don't, so we can't. Okay. We can't even kill Vraska. God, it's so frustrating. Alright. I mean, I guess we just attack Vraska and lead Mutavault back to block if we need to not die. So that's fine, I guess. Like, I don't think you want to attack them. Alright. I mean, Hogaak still probably wins us the game. Any creature. Smallpox. That's, like, not bad, I guess. I think we're again attacking Vraska. I guess the ultimate doesn't matter. And we'll put them to 10, so they'll have haste too. Yeah, actually, we should attack them. So we're going to play Catacombs. And we're going to play Smallpox, sack creature, sack a land. Now Raging Ravine is off the menu. It's also pretty hard for me to plus Vraska profitably. We can get back our Bloodghast. I mean, I considered sacking the Urborg, but this isn't even that good. I guess it is good, because now that makes the sacrifice the Hogaak. No, it does. They can kill it and then sacrifice. So yeah, that's a problem, I guess. Okay. That's pretty good. It's actually really good. So we're going to go 2. Get back Bloodghast. Cast Supplier. I'm stupid. I should cast Supplier first. If I had that Bloodghast, that was really dumb. But whatever. Hogaak's in play. Swamp, Smallpox, Peatland. I should actually be thinking about Tarmogoyf. And they have everything in their graveyard. Whatever. They have sorcery, instant, land, planeswalker, creature. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. And still exile my planeswalker. Sorcery. Alright, Hogaak is here. And Hogaak is actually unstoppable at the moment, because they can kill one of these and then Edict us, but Hogaak still exists. They draw a Bolt here, which they probably did. Then Hogaak is dead. So no kill spell, please. Maybe I should attack for Vraska the previous turn. I don't know. All right. Whew. That was a slugfest. Once Hogaak shows up, it's all good. The problem is I'm a little worried that our sideboard plan of taking out Hogaak might weaken our deck too much. But because Ren 6 is just so good. Alright, so I think we're going to execute the same plan, just board out the graveyard Hogaak package. assuming they're going to bring in like Leyline or something like that, and we're going to bring in our fair package. I guess Liliana of Last Hope isn't very good if the graveyards are gone, but I can still emblem. So, and then do I want Fulminator Mage? Probably, honestly. Now I need to cut one card. I'll just cut a Bloodghast. Definitely think we're on the lower end of the power spectrum here. Obviously, they're playing 3 colors worth of good mid-range cards. We're playing 1 color. But maybe we actually just shave, like... And shaving discard spells, like, that's usually what you want to do in, like, a Jund mirror, but they just have the edge on against us. So maybe we just can't even afford to do that. They just have an edge in card quality. We should try and, like, cheat. We want to play a low resource, kind of cheese you out game. Yeah, I think Bloodghast is too good to cut. Even if they have Leyline or Surgical, just like its ability to pressure Planeswalkers is pretty important. We just don't have that super well. Let's bring in 2 of these into play. Obviously, against Wrenn and 6, this card is terrible. Our goal is to try and Thoughtseize Wrenn and 6 and not let that happen. Because if it happens, we're in pretty big trouble. I mean, this hand works for me. You can obviously just Thoughtseize our Thoughtseize, but... Cool. So this card is basically worthless against us. All it does is mean our Bloodghast can't come back. We can still just cast Bloodghast, though. So this is basically a mulligan for them. That's really, really important because we're playing a discard deck. So every mulligan we can make them take is fantastic. So Sideboard plan is currently effective. Took our Smallpox. Okay. Smallpox is very powerful. Cabal Therapist. We're definitely casting Thoughtseize here, so I don't think it's even a conversation. Alright, they have Fatal Push, Plague Engineer, Tarmogoyf. Obviously Liliana can tag a creature here. Fulminator's pretty good too. I mean, Plague Engineer's like annoying. Certainly makes our Cabal Therapist worse, but I don't think that Fatal Push matters at all. It's just Goyf for Plague Engineer. I think just Goyf, honestly. Like, their hand's pretty bad. There's Catacombs. Probably just do Tarmogoyf, because why wouldn't they? Scavenging use, sure. So that's, I mean, they already have Leyline in play, so. Another Cabal Therapist. I mean, can't really play that into a Plague Engineer. I think we're just gonna play Mutavault and say go here. We can Liliana them, or we can just Fulminator Mage their... If they don't play a land, we're going to Fulminator Mage their Stomping Ground, I think. Or maybe just their Overgrown Tomb. Alright, well, they didn't pump this, so they probably have a land for Plague Engineer. No, they just drew a Tarmogoyf. Alright, well, that's pretty sick. Alright. God, yeah, that is something else. All right. I mean, Cabal Therapist is not looking too impressive here. I mean, Liliana just to Edict, obviously. I mean, I think we're just gonna kill this Overgrown Tomb though, and they just can't cast spells for the moment. And we could like wait till they attack and then block, but if I guess their hand is push Plague Engineer. Like, how much worse can it get? Sure, just say go. They go land, cast Plague Engineer. It's annoying, but oh my god! All right, now he probably can't win. So I guess they've got us here. They've drawn 3 great 2-drops in a row, and we had them down to almost nothing. But yeah, we were dead here. All right, I guess you win, opponent. Yeah, that's just game. All right. Sometimes you get them down to nothing, and man, that was bad. Okay. I think our plan is still great. I think I want the 3rd Fulminator on the play. Maybe not, actually. Yeah, I think 2 is fine. I mean, like, we can get, like, it just, these are better than any of the cards in the sideboard, I think. Yeah, but I don't think that this Fulminator Mage is better than any cards currently in our deck. So they are playing Ren and 6. Our goal is to keep it out of play, but they are still playing it. So I'm like, Cabal Therapist is this first main phase, right? Yeah. This hand is not great. I mean, it seems pretty hard to mulligan, but it's not great. I don't think we can mulligan, though. I'm going to keep. I'm not happy about it, but they kept 7-2. It's bad. Like, if they have any answer to this pack rat, which I'm sure they will, we're in trouble. We don't have any discard spells. I mean, maybe we should have mulliganed. It's just like, in a Thoughtseize matchup, it's just so hard to mulligan any reasonable hand. So if you get a 5, you just can't ever win. All right. Ren and 6 is certainly a huge problem for this deck. Alright, so they're saying they have a kill spell for my pack rat and they have their own creature. That's pretty good. Alright. Like, by taking Fatal Push, they're saying they have like a Goyf or something, and they have a way to kill my pack rat. So Bitterblossom is a pretty nice way to kind of work around that. Obviously, they can still play a creature here, but at least they're not killing my pack rat. I guess Plague Engineer is really good against this card. That's something I didn't consider. Tarmogoyf, sure. Yeah. About that. Not really thrilled about what's happening here, but may end up at a spot where we're trying to go to turn 5 and play a rat and make a rat in the same turn, but we don't have a lot of resources for that. So we are flooded, so that is a way to make use of our cards, obviously. Yeah, Plague Engineer being good against Bitterblossom makes this card much less exciting. Plague Engineer is a very real card in the format, so might need a different plan. Bitterblossom seems to be coming in. Oh, excuse me. In these fair matchups. Yeah. All right. That's pretty gross. All right. Okay. Everything happening here is pretty bad for us. I don't even think we can afford to wait a turn on Pack Rat. Yeah, this is bad. All right, so it looks like strategically we have some flaws in this deck against Jund. Some of our sideboard plan cards just don't line up well against their sideboard cards, and the card Wrenn and 6 is just a disaster. But it sucks because I think we were actually pretty ahead last game, and they just fired off some big ones. I think I'm attempting to block here. It's probably not going to work, but yeah. Well, this is fine. I mean, if I can kill the Plague Engineer, I'm still reasonably happy. I don't know any cards. I don't have any spells in my hand anyway, so it's actually not like a bad exchange. We could draw like Liliana here, or draw a way to kill Tarmogoyf. I think we're actually like a Smallpox, Liliana. Get some big draws here, honestly. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Mutavault's a rogue. All right. Well, we were winning this game anyway, so I guess that's fair. Yeah. All right. That's fine. That's all right. So nice and embarrassing end of that game. That's good. But yeah, it looks like the thing is like Jund is playing 3 colors worth of cards and doing a similar plan to us. So obviously their card quality is certainly higher. Again, that second game was like they could have just drawn land fatal push and you probably win that game. So like obviously I think we're a dog, but the early game discard games are super high variance, and it just comes down to like how good are your top 3 cards, and in that case they were really, really good. So all right, let's try that again. Supplier, no second land. I mean, if we hit a Hogaak, we can cast it. This is a tough one, honestly. I mean, any land in his hand is phenomenal, but it's not a Mutavault. I am not sure. On the draw, I'd be much more inclined to keep. On the play, I mean, we're also drawing to, like, I guess, discard spells, too. I'm going to keep. I'm not sure if this is right, but there's a Hogaak in our top X cards. Bloodghast is obviously a good enabler. And then any land makes this hand really good. I mean, not really good, but quite good. This might be a little loose. All right, first set. Land Liliana, so that's not good. It's going to be Jund again. Ugh. Jund has gotten very popular. Hogaak, please. Thoughtseize, Bloodghast. Not ideal, but Please draw land. 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 Yeah! Alright, so that's pretty great. We're going to sack a Supplier, too, and try and hit a Hogaak. So, Bloodghast comes back. We play Smallpox. We pitch another Bloodghast. And we're going to discard that. We're going to kill the Peatland here. We're going to sack a Supplier, too. I want to hit this Hogaak. Discard Seasoned Pyromancer, sure. And Hogaak me? No. 20 cards deep, no Hogaak. Kind of lame, but that's okay. That's okay. Mountain. Oh, Ren 6. This card's so good. I guess land? Dryad Arbor. I mean, that is a land. That does trigger our Bloodghast. Okay. I suppose we're attacking Ren 6. And getting back our Bloodghast. Ren 6 can obviously murder our Dryad Arbor, but it means it's not getting a land back at least. We definitely haven't cast enough Hogaaks. We're obviously boarding it out sometimes against Graveyard Hate, but it's weird because like half their cards are so good against us, and then half their cards are so bad against us. Like Liliana is a joke against us; it's like completely unplayable. But Ren, are you serious? Main deck Plague Engineer? All right. Oh. Why are you like this? That was a swamp. I mean, we get to cast Smallpox. We get to get back our blood. Yeah, I guess that would matter, I guess. But we get to kill this thingy and kill land. I guess it's all Ren 6, but all right. Yeah, bring those back. I mean, they can blow me out here if they got something. We're not really in a place to do much more. All right. Tough game. I mean, any Hogaak wins that game for sure, probably. They probably can't kill it, but that's a tough one. Again, Ren 6 is just like, ugh. All right. I mean, maybe we can't afford to board out Hogaak. Yeah, maybe we just leave in the Hogaaks. If they have Leyline, they have Leyline. Maybe we can't afford to take it out. It just seems like such an important threat. So maybe we just bring in like push for what? Man, main deck Plague Engineers is quite rude. I definitely want to bring in at least a Fatal Push. I don't know what we're cutting. Let me cut a Hogaak, I guess, just to lessen the blow a little bit of the Graveyard Hate, but still have access to it. Sure. Let's try this. Without the Plague Engineer, I think we're okay that game. Obviously, having 2 Bloodghast bouncing around is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay, a mulligan, I guess. All right. I mean, this hand plays for sure. What are we putting back? I'm not sure. Probably Cabal Therapist. There's Thoughtseize on 1. We can Pox on 2. Yeah, the Therapist is like the worst card. It takes a little long. If they can kill it, it's like it takes a while to set up. So, all right. So they have Leyline of the Wood. Sure. So this is like a kind of common thing where we have this pretty clever plan against Leyline of the Void, but the plan's just like not good enough against the rest of their deck. All right, it's definitely Pyromancer. Have a Ghost Quarter too. It's interesting. Pack Rat. Yeah, all right. So we're just gonna play Lancego here. So they play Catacombs and nothing. We draw Hogaak. Oh boy. I mean, if this was like a Liliana of the Last Hope, I don't think it would be that much different realistically. So yeah, it's very possible that Pack Rat's just like not a playable card in Modern. It's just too slow and weak. Ugh. But that was the card we Thoughtseized. How is this possible? Discard Decay Ghost Quarter. I mean, we just got nothing here. This is just embarrassing. Their bolt tags our Pack Rat. The token beats our Smallpox. Our Bloodghast doesn't do anything. We have a dead card in our hand. This is just, unfortunately, pretty embarrassing. They also have the flashback on Pyromancer, too. Like, yeah, Jund is very real. There's no doubt of that. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Jund's a very, very real deck. I'm going to do my predictions article for the Pro Tour. Obviously, a little different because I'm playing it this time. But I think one of my predictions is going to be that Jund is going to be the most played deck in the tournament. Jund just improved so much. All right, let's try this again. Man, stop drawing this Dryad Arbor. We can keep this in, I think. Obviously, the Therapist is pretty good with the Stitcher Suppliers. I'm cool with this. We want to hit a Hogaak. For sure. Okay. I mean, I guess if everyone's playing Jund, what do you do, right? You should play main deck Leyline Sanctity. Field Mist Border Post. Okay. I mean, I can't Therapist them anymore, so... Right. Yep, target player. Alright, well. Such a Supplier, do some work for me. Nope. Ruined Halo. Okay. Hogaak. That does stymie our offense a little bit. Pack Rat to the rescue. Ruined Halo, pretty good against Pack Rat. But, not right now. So, yeah, I mean, we're just going to rat it up here. I'm not going to lie, the main deck Leyline Sanctity against our Cabal Therapist discard deck and the Ruined Halo is does not bode well for us. We will see what we can do here. They play a Nykthos next turn and cast Enduring Ideal or something. Oh, look. That's exactly what I said they were going to do. That's weird. Thalia's Lancers. Search for a legendary card. So we're going to get Elish Norn probably, and we're going to concede. Oh boy. Not our day, it would seem. Not our day. Main deck Leyline Sanctity. Yeah, okay. I think that's about the time where we're going to pick up our cards. Yep. Well, I can't Thoughtseize them, so I guess we're dead. They have 7 mana next turn. Yep, alright. Good game. Good game. Wrap it up, I guess. Oh, boy. Leyline Sanctity deck. Now what do we do? As I mean, they're likely to have Graveyard Hate also, but what can we even do here? That wasn't even close. That was a shellacking. Alright, so Fatal Push is out. I guess we want like Bitterblossom and maybe Liliana. I mean, Fulminator Mage only kills Nykthos, and they can just use it before I get to kill it, so it doesn't even seem good. I'm going to leave in all the graveyard stuff. They're probably going to have Rest in Peace too, but like, I don't think we're realistically, like, none of the cards in our sideboard really do anything against enchantments. So, let's run that back and hope they don't have Leyline, I guess. Trying to think about what could improve that Jund matchup. Like, what could be some other plan? We could easily splash a color in this deck. You know, like we're already playing, you know, incidentally like 9 green sources. But I don't know what green card would help. It doesn't use the graveyard. Honestly, Bitterblossom, Smallpox. Seems like a pretty reasonable plan against them. Just Stone Rain them twice and play a Bitterblossom. Also, if they have a Leyline, I don't really care. I don't have any discard spells, so. Lucky, I don't have any Leyline. Alright, that's fine. We may end up convoking this Hogaak off of our Bitterblossom tokens. It's kind of cool. I guess Border Post plays around Smallpox, right? It's kind of funny. And they'll probably have a land to play next turn, but Cabal Therapist. It's got to be Bitterblossom, so drawing a land so we can Therapist and Smallpox seems pretty nice. Sure. I mean, this makes our Smallpox really good. I guess they get to get a land off of it, but we get to kill a creature too, which is nice. So, Weathered Wayfarer. That's really annoying. All right, well, now they have 2 creatures. Well, we did draw a land, which is cool, I guess. I guess we're going to sack the swamp. And discard the Hogaak. I guess if we discard a non-Hogaak card, then we get to use it to convoke, or delve, I mean. Yeah, Pack Rat's worthless. Let's discard Pack Rat. And we're going to sack the swamp. Obviously, they have Wayfarer to like rebuild their mana base. Oh my god. We are playing Modern, folks. They sacked a Wayfarer? That seems really weird to me. Okay. Sure. Hogaak champion. Yeah, I guess that's like good against Bitterblossom. It's not great against Hogaak, I suppose. Okay. It's currently 3 in the graveyard, and then the Catacombs is 4/5. So yeah, we're not gonna therapy here. No. We're gonna play the Gaxki and hope it's good enough. I could fetch a Dryad Arbor. Oh, I could have Therapist. Oh, I might have screwed up. I should have therapied. I forgot about Dryad Arbor. I could have gotten Dryad Arbor, sacked the fairy, and then tapped the Therapist and the thing. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. I'm not sure what I would even. I couldn't even fathom what I would name. I guess like Thalia's Lancers or something, but I probably should have just gotten the therapy train rolling. All right. Can I? Well, I guess now I can Smallpox and cast Hogaak, right? So I can Smallpox. I can sacrifice the fairy and a land, and then discard Hogaak, which is fine, and then just convoke out. Go get Dryad Arbor post Smallpox and convoke it out. Probably be a little light on lands, but that's kind of what we want to be, right? Yeah. Okay. I guess we're attacking first. So, Smallpox, sacrificing Swamp, and I guess I tap the creature. I'm gonna sack the damn Therapist, whatever. I didn't really think about that super well. Let's think. Yeah, alright. Maybe I should have kept the Therapist and not attack with it. I just got ahead of myself. Honestly, like I said, I don't even know what I'm naming a Therapist, and realistically, Hogaak plus the Flyers is just like our plan to kill them anyway, so killing them seems better than trying to guess random cards that might be in their deck, and I have no idea what the hell's in their deck anyway. So, Dryad Arbor finally pulling its weight. Of course, Hogaak is green and black. Alright, there's Hogue Daddy. So they're at 20, but I imagine the 8/8 trample will hopefully remedy that fairly quickly. Wayfarer, sure. So now we just attack with everything every turn. Suppose they have Path to Exile, we're in trouble. They discarded a Gideon of the Trials. That would have been brutal. Gideon on our Hogaak. Jeez. It's a little awkward, but Bitterblossom's not as good when they gain a life every time that you lose a life, but okay. I mean, that's not good. I guess it could be worse. Okay. I mean, we attack. We're going to take 3. They block with the Reckoner, but what else can we do? So this is a ridiculous game of Magic, by the way. I'm just going to throw it out there. It is cute that our Dryad Arbor can block this Hogaak champion, though. It kind of keeps that one in check. Maybe they'll not think about that and attack. That'd be pretty cool. And they are dead on... Oh, God, they have Nykthos. Oh, boy. Are they dead still? They go to 10. I think they're still dead. It takes 6, 7, 8, 9. If I attack with everything. Cabal Therapist. They blocked 2 here. It takes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how we're ever going to beat this deck, but we just did it, so cool. Cool. They also have Hogaak champions. I guess we could bring in Plague Engineer. I think, is Hogaak champion a cleric? I know Weathered Wayfarer is. I used to play that card in one of my first ever standard deck a million years ago. Hogaak champion, cleric. Okay. Plague Engineer, get in the deck, please. Thank you. And then, what are we cutting here? The Pack Rat seem. I guess Pack Rat seems okay. Liliana the Veil seems good. It's each player, right? Yeah. I mean, you have ways to kill their crappy 1/1s, which is good. I guess Liliana can't kill. I'm going to get rid of this, actually. Let's get rid of that. And let's cut, like, maybe we cut a Bloodghast. Nah. Let's cut a Pack Rat. Let me try this. Plague Engineer's messed up. Like, I've been considering playing Goblins at the Pro Tour, and just the thought of a million Plague... Like, we play against main deck Plague Engineer in this league, you know? That's a pretty terrifying thought. Okay, I mean, the hand's pretty good. But I guess barring a... I mean, if they have a Leyline, we still have stuff to do, so... Alright. It is really funny how the card Stony Silence is like game over against these decks, and they're not even an artifact deck. Alright, well, Thoughtseize, pick them apart, do your work. Their hand is Hogaak Champion, on Thin Ice, Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger, Wildfield Border Post, 2 lands. Alright, we're going to take the Hogaak Champion and hope this Ulamog doesn't get us at some point in the semi-near future. I guess they're returning the land. I could have not clicked it, but whatever. Alright, well, Bitterblossom ahoy. The hand's pretty bad, honestly, so Okay. They do have no lands in blood. So, Smallpox, not very good. Pack Rat. I mean, I'm going to Thoughtseize them again. They don't have another kill spell. We're going to probably just Pack Rat them. Thin Ice. They do have to nick those, but they're pretty far from casting Willamog. I'll take on Thin Ice and just Pack Rat and just try and do that. I mean, we have double Mutavault too. It's a pretty fast clock. It's certainly not our plan A, but nick those currently taps for 1 extra. No, taps for 0 extra mana right now. I think that plays. Yeah, I think that plays. We get to Smallpox their land away and make them discard a card. Discard our Bloodghast, play a Mutavault, get it back, activate Mutavault, attack for a good amount. Yeah, this plays pretty well. Do we sack? Yeah, I'm going to sack the Peatland. Peterland. I mean, we'll smash for 5 here. We attack for a lot next turn, so... Alright, so we're just in rat mode, I think, here. Don't really care about Citrus Supplier at this point. Don't Wrath of God me. Like, actual, factual Wrath of God me. Oh, crap. Heh! Alright, so Pack Rat's off the table, but everything else is still on the table, so that's fine. That's scary, because now they have Nykthos available. Now it makes... It's +2 mana on Nykthos now. That doesn't play. How about a Hogaak? No. Alright, well, I mean, they're dead next turn, right? They go to, what, 4 here? 3? 4? 3? 3. Even if they cast Willamog. Pretty sure we still kill them. Elesh Norn would beat us. Elspeth Sun's champion. Okay. I think the Flyers still get there. I Mutavault too. Jeez, I think I played game 2 really poorly. Perhaps. Yeah, now they're dead. We have 2 round attackers. Sweet. We beat the Leyline of Sanctity Ruined Halo Auriok champion deck with our mono black deck. Alright, let's finish strong here. No more Ren and 6, please. The card Entomb would be really good in this deck. Just a more reliable way to find your Bloodghasts. We can keep this though. Oh no, not again. Oh, just John all day. Oh, nope, never mind. That might even be worse for us, honestly. Another graveyard deck, okay. Well... So it looks like this is like the Hogaak deck. They are certainly a better Hogaak deck than us. Yeah. Their hand looks pretty bad, so we have that going for us. Satyr Wayfinder is probably their best card. It's fodder for Liliana. Fills the graveyard. Yeah, it's definitely just Satyr Wayfinder here. So they have a Looting and a Neonate. So their hand's pretty bad, honestly. Next turn we can push Therapist. Fortunately, a lot of our cards aren't very good against them. Liliana's pretty bad. Discarded Vengevine and Gravecrawler. That's a really, really good looting. Alright. That's pretty bad for us. I mean, I guess we're going to Fatal Push this Carrion Feeder so they can't buy back their Gravecrawler. I mean, any second creature gets his Vengevine back. That was a pretty good looting. Their hand went from being really bad to pretty passable very quick here. So just have to hit their stack on the Gravecrawler, trying to recast it, and then cast Neonates. Hopefully they don't have a second creature here. You can also just Neonate, try and draw a second creature, so it's bad for us too. We have 4 Leyline on our board, so that obviously helps out. Interesting. I got flashback looting here. Right. I mean, now I can sack my Therapist to get their Neonate, which I would just take for sure. Unless they discard it, but they need creatures. They probably won't discard it, so that seems good. They discarded Hogaak. That's yucky. That's not good. And that's not good either. We are going to sacrifice this. You can draw some spells, too. That would help. And is push, Arbor, Neonate. So, with any creature, they can cast Hogaak. So we're just going to Liliana here. And just make him discard. And I mean, Liliana can sort of check Hogaak. I mean, obviously they have Dryad Arbor, so. Alright, they discard the push. We need not a creature this turn. Son of a bitch. That's a zombie, too? Oh, God, we're dead. Alright. So now they have Hogaak and Vengevine and Gravecrawl. Yeah, we're dead. Alright. Leon of the Void, come save me, please. It does feel like we've hit a pretty bad stretch of matchups here. Our deck seems a lot better against linear decks where discard's good against them. Like, imagine playing against Tron with this deck, or like Valakut. We just keep smallpoxing them. Like blue-white control decks, like, you know, not busted graveyard decks and Renin 6 decks and Leyline of Sanctity decks, but alright, so we're gonna want Leyline of the Void. We're gonna want probably Plague Engineer. We don't want Fatal Push. I mean, our discard spells honestly aren't very good either. I mean, that's the problem with Smallpox. If Smallpox isn't good, our deck kind of isn't good. Liliana the Veil's bad against them too. Jeez. I guess we have to think about what the game's going to look like with a Leyline of the Void in play. So this card actually seems good against them. Liliana just seems bad in all scenarios for the most part. Seems tough. Like, our Cabal Therapist, Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Smallpox engine just like isn't good against them. Because they have a bunch of crappy creatures. Alright, let's just, we're probably going to multi Leyline, honestly. So, multi Leyline, take their way to deal with it, and then he'll mop up, hopefully, their crappy creatures with our Plague Engineer, Liliana, Smallpox. You'd probably make an argument for playing Fatal Push over Cabal Therapist, because the Therapist is just so bad. I mean, we still need to kill their... Yeah, you know what? Actually, we're going to do that. We still need to kill their creatures. Like, they're still going to play 2/1s for 1 and Crypt Breakers and stuff, so... And Therapist just seems really bad. There's nothing in their hand we need to take. So, again, Therapist much better against like linear decks or fair decks that aren't playing Wrenn and 6, etc. So, a little unfortunate that this set of 5 matches, like, we've played against a lot of decks that are actively really good against us, but we're still 2-2, so... Alright, well, there it is. This is the literal perfect end. Leyline, Thoughtseize, Pack Rat, Mutavault, keep. Couldn't ask for more. Thoughtseize, yeah. Alright, they have Bloodghast, Hogaak, Neonate, Nature's Claim. What's up? Pretty easy. And, Pack Rat is not a super exciting card in Modern, but I'm pretty sure it can beat a couple Bloodghasts. Yep. You could have also Smallpoxed there, but it's just like not necessary, I don't think. Just rat them and kill them, you know? So they exiled a land. Like, trying to constrain their lands or their resources just doesn't really matter. Yeah, sure. Like, I don't even know. I guess keeping Smallpox over a land is still good, so... Maybe not, actually. So I want to get to 5 lands so I can activate a Mutavault. Yeah, no, screw it. I don't need a Smallpox. Certainly a lot of value in Leyline of the Void, you know? And a deck playing 4 Smallpox, 4 Pack Rat, 4 Liliana, a lot of ways to just discard it. If it's not useful, it's nice too. So there are obviously Leyline of the Void decks and then good Leyline of the Void decks. Well, these all can't block, so... Doesn't really matter that much because we have the ability to block with rats anyway. We're attacking for 8 here. I guess we just hold on to it. Just discard the land. I mean, I'm going to actually pump. They go to 3. Now we just have like 100 million lethal attackers, so they have no blockers. It is cool that their deck can actually cast Vengevine. I think it's actually a pretty important thing to have in the face of Graveyard Hate. Like, a 4/3 haster for 4 isn't that bad. Alright, so pretty ideal game there. Let's try and duplicate that if we can. I don't think we're going to keep a hand that doesn't have Leyline of the Void. So London Mulligan's going to really help us out here. But we have a Leyline. Can't keep this hand. Alright, that stinks, obviously, but... suppose there are 2 conditions for us to keep. A Layout of the Void and the ability to cast spells. Yeah, we're going to ship this. Plenty of mulligans also, so... London Mulligan's going to try and help them find like a Nature's Claim or something. Opponents are tankier. Jeez. They're on 6. We're on the draw, so, you know, we can draw out of our mulligan a little bit better. Well, they are really tanking. As I said, I'm going to be doing my Mythic Championship preview article later this week. I'll be playing in Barcelona. I actually leave, if you're watching this on Monday, I leave tomorrow. Be in Barcelona for the week. And then before every Mythic Championship / Pro Tour, I do a predictions article. I post 5 predictions for the Pro Tour / Mythic Championship. Again, a little different this time is I'll be playing in the Mythic Championship, but still have my predictions to be made, of course. That article will go up on Thursday because it has to go up early on, before the Pro Tour happens. Pro Tour starts on Friday. So that article will go up on Thursday. So 3 days from now, you should check that one out. And then, yeah, hopefully we do well in Barcelona. That would be great. Still not sure what I'm playing yet. All right. So they keep 6. We're going to mulligan again. Okay. So we have 5 cards, no Leyline, but we do have Plague Engineer. Plague Engineer is fine, but sand's pretty bad. I honestly think we're just going to 4 here. A hand of like Leyline, land, discard spell, Packrat is very appealing to me. And this hand honestly just doesn't do a lot. I mean, I can engineer on zombie on turn 3. It's probably way too late. We're gonna mulligan again. We might mulligan to Oblivion and never cast a spell and die, but I think that our best chance to win here is to abuse the London mulligan. All right, so now we're on 4 cards. I mean, that's pretty unfortunate that the only Leyline we saw in our first 28 cards was the opening hand of no lands. So not really looking great here. We probably can't mulligan this hand. And then we got to think about our scries too. I mean, if our 3-card hand is just Leyline, land, like that might be better than this. Leyline is just so important. I'm gonna mulligan again. I just don't think we can beat their deck without a Leyline. In for a penny, in for a pound. This is insane. 6, 7 card hands in a row with no Leyline. Yeah, I mean, I'll mulligan the 1. 1 card hand of a Leyline is better than land discard spell. All right, we did it. If we win this game, please. All right. I mean, they're just going to play Savannah Lions and kill us, but... Here we are. Chipping a chair. That's a lot of cards to see with no Leylines. Like, give me 1 land in that 7-card hand, we're definitely keeping. Nothing? Oh, they have a Nature's Claim too? This is embarrassing. Oh, this is embarrassing. Please kill me. That's so funny. All that work. I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of the problem of having really broken graveyard decks in Modern, is that you end up playing games like this that just aren't actually even playing Magic. You know, it's just, can I get my card? Can you answer my card? Okay, you can. Oh, okay, I'm mulligan to 1. Okay, whatever. You know, like, I don't think we can win a game against this deck without Leyline. So I think what we did was what we had to do. Discard Vengevine, Nature's Claim. Yeah. We can cast spells. So yeah, like this type of gameplay is often just not very fun. Hence why they're pretty aggro and banning decks like this. I mean, or keeping decks like this in check. Yeah, I mean, we're just obviously super dead here. But wait, there's more. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Good for a laugh. Alright, so overall, a kind of frustrating league matchup-wise. Also a league that really shows us how good Jund is. Jund's the real deal. So 2-3 is not an ideal result. But we definitely just did not play against the decks this deck seems good against. We played against basically everything bad for us. And again, I guess if they had the claim anyways, they probably would have beaten us no matter what we did that game. We would have needed to have Leyline and discard spell. But if they went first, it didn't even matter. So yeah, I mean, whatever. But deck seems super cool. I'm a little worried that our suppliers never really did anything. I mean, I guess we're a little unlucky that we never hit Hogaak, but there's just a lot of cards to hit that don't do anything. There's 7 cards in our entire deck that matter in the graveyard. So when Supplier mills 3, I mean, it's not likely it's going to hit a card that matters. That concerns me a little bit. Definitely. The problem is the more graveyard-centric you get, the more vulnerable you are to graveyard hate. So there's some give and take there. Obviously, the value of Supplier just being a 1/1 you can sacrifice to your Cabal Therapist is pretty cool. But there's some tension there. But overall, deck's really cool. I mean, it didn't work out as we would have liked in some of the games. And again, Ren and 6 is like the antithesis of everything we want to be doing. But deck's super cool, super fun. Smallpox is a really powerful card. Liliana is a very powerful card. Hogaak is a really good threat for this deck, honestly. So, deck's very cool. This deck did 5-0 League, so it has a bit of pedigree. Would I expect this deck to win the Open tomorrow or win the Pro Tour? Not as currently built. There's definitely some cool stuff happening here, but I think that the fear of Jund scares me quite a bit. You know, if the metagame was more, Valakut, Tron, blue-white control, more fair blue decks, things like that, then cards like, Cabal Therapist and Smallpox will be a lot better. But overall, just a really cool deck, honestly. This deck is just really cool. It's a clever build. There's a lot of little clever things about it. It's sweet. So if you enjoy playing Pox-style strategies, which I know a lot of Magic players do, there you go. Give it a try. Give it a spin, and try and dodge those Leyline of Sanctity, right? Even though he won that match. So, everyone, thanks so much for watching. This is Jim Davis, of course, for CoolStuffInc.com. Here on my Monday video. Every Monday, there's a video. Every Friday, there's an article by me, as well as a bunch of other great content on CoolStuffInc.com by Ali Antrazi and Mike Flores and a bunch of other great writers. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a companion article to this video on CoolStuffInc.com. So make sure you finish the YouTube video, hop into your browser, CoolStuffInc.com, check out the article that goes along with it. Yeah, that's basically it for me. So I'm off to Barcelona. I'll be pre-recording a video for next week. So there'll still be a video next week in my articles and everything. But I'll see you all in a week in a few days. And hopefully, when I come back, I have a Pro Tour Champion trophy. That'd be nice. We'll see. A man can dream, right? But thanks for watching, everyone. And also, CoolStuffInc.com is your number one source for all your game shopping needs, too. So any board game, card game, you name it, CoolStuffInc.com has it. Go buy your Modern Horizons cards. Go buy your Hogaaks. I'm sorry. Go buy your Cabal Therapists. You probably already have your Hogaaks, but buy them all on CoolStuffInc.com. Use promo code Jim5 for 5% off your order and save some money. All right? Love you all. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.